sound. Let me know if you all can see and hear me. All right, I do believe we got sound. We've got video. Late day Q&A here. Chris Varley with Trade Ideas. I'm doing an open forum here for everybody. Come one, come all. Fire away your questions for me. As per usual, no prepared content. Leave it open to you. Hopefully you will all come with a few questions, comments, something we can work on together, discuss. Perfect. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Good to know. Excellent, excellent. So if you got anything, Dan, right away you want to fire away, by all means. Another interesting day from the market. Slight gap up and just kind of moving sideways most of the day. Wobbling back and forth here. And slightly up. Let's see, the NASDAQ looks like it's down a touch. Dow's up a third of a point. SPY's up just under a third of a point. So let's see here. Let's take a stroll through some interesting stuff here. I think everybody in the trading world is watching this one today here. What a move, huh? Last week plus. Obviously, this is something I looked at a long time ago. All those showing my sins of the past. Short growth. Short growth means that you have this many more people have increased their bet on the stock price to fall. This many more people have got, or this percent of people have now increased on short float. So you have what is currently short to float and how much it has gone up or down since the last reporting, essentially. Sure, actually one quick backtest. If I backtest an alert window based on a symbol list, I assume the backtest was based on the current contents only, right? Yes, yeah. I wish you could do it, based on what it was on the current day that was linked to it. That would really, that would be something for me right now on things that I'm working on. But yeah, whatever the current list is, that's what it's going to backtest on based on that. So there's that. And sorry, just clicking around and reading a few different things that are going on here. Yeah, that would be nice, Dan, especially for what I'm doing. Like, I know people see this automation list here, and something I am kind of trying to test for automation. I haven't done it in like a live account where it's buying, hundreds of shares or anything like that. But trying to get a feel for things. Instead of looking at the whole market, look at setups that I like, that I think have a chance to run partially the next day. And then the next step to it is, how do you manage those trades when you're in it? All these little things that come with automation that people don't consider when they hear, oh, automation, I'll just press play, right? And I can count my money at the end of the day after I go play a round of golf. Yeah, no, not so much. But it is what it is. So anyways, yeah, HX, that was a flyer today. And then Twitter, this was an interesting move from that. So you had Pins and PayPal looking to get together, possibly in a merger here, and somehow that affected Twitter. I don't know all the news on it. As I generally say, I don't really read news or, pay attention to the news, but that was quite the move up and quite the fade back down. So, interesting stuff here around the horn. Of course, PayPal took a nosedive off that news if they're the acquirer, not the acquiree. Usually, traditionally, that's what happens when you're going to acquire someone else, merge with someone else. You're doing the buying, you're the one tanking in price. And of course, pins, they were halted earlier. I don't know really what pins is doing now. Is it still halted? Where's my time and sales at? There we go. Nope, pins is back on the move again. So interesting stuff. Um, interesting stuff here. I think someone in the stream yesterday said they were long pins. They were in it for a couple of days now. So hope that they didn't sell on that pop and fade on the open. They got a piece of that. That'd be certainly a nice way to end a Wednesday. That's for sure. So congrats to whoever that was if you're in here and you happen to hold on to it. So yes, Jermaine, that's right. I hope you still have a piece of that, my friend, or you sold out somewhere in this area here. Good move, and those are the things you can't predict. That's why you have a trading plan, and you never know when you're going to get those home runs. They can cut both ways, but stock like pins, you're not worried about bio or FDA or approve this or approve that, so you don't have that concern for getting cut in half overnight. All the things we're working on the chart for you to you did all good stuff there. So congratulations to you on that. Kudos. That's that. So taking a look at some of what happened through my curated list today on these alerts. It started off looking pretty good, and some of them kept going, some of them didn't. And not a bad alert here. RF for that one. That looked good there. What do we got? CNX. It's some more energy. Petroleum, natural gas. Right back up at it today. Uranium. Not sure what happened there. It's all right. A little bit wobbly. So, this is why I like to do a curated list like this, a narrow data set of setups that I find that are quality. Not another too bad of alert here. None of these, not major home runs on any of these, but certainly not getting in any trouble on these alerts here. So looking good. LAC, that was a quick pop and drop, but I didn't have a lot of faith in that anyways. That and LTHM have been really wobbly. Nice alert from this here. Not too shabby for 2411. Topped out around 2470 at some point. Wolf, this one I was weary of. Wall Street Bets had 10 mentions on it in the data scrub that I was looking at. I really try to stay away from Wall Street Bets, but I liked this here. I liked that a lot. So it got a little, I think, a little away from itself that day, and I thought maybe we're going to catch a moving average and get it moved up. Looked like it tried, just couldn't do it though. Looked like yesterday we tried to shoot up above it twice and double topped out here. So that was that for Wolf. Kind of a Wolf chart today. This kind of just keeps on keeping on. Interesting though. Let's take a look at this here though. The K-Web. We talked about China trying to make a recovery here. K-Web gapping a go yesterday. K-Web gapped, gave it back up, and kind of floundering around today. So that's definitely going to affect on those Chinese stocks, and that would take me right into a couple here with Holly. Almost a happy accident that drawing kind of lines right up. No, funny how that happens. But this is China stock I traded today. I took an entry here, exited there. I didn't like the way it couldn't break 10 and hold it. Got out. Looked like it was the right thing to do. This is another China play that's here. Yep. So another China play. There you go. There's China. Same kind of thing. Only this one, hung around even less time, unfortunately. So just, sometimes the way the cookie crumbles with these things, especially when, these look very attached to the index here. I mean, those three charts look very, very similar. IO, KWeb, and HUYA. So that's that on the short and skinny of those kinds of things here. And so Momo, where we started on that whole bit, related, same thing here. Software reproducing. Wasn't sure whether or not to leave that on the list. Getting pretty extended off that 8 EMA, and all these green days in a row, even with a gap down, move up green day. Tough to say. I left it on there and eked out a few pennies so far. Some more energy. Looks decent off that alert there. This didn't really do a whole lot. This is an acquisition company, SPAC company, but I see this on the daily chart and I just feel like it has that big potential to explode. So I've left it there, just kind of move, but obviously that's resistance right there and that's not far off. And back here, the same kind of thing. So you get your little whoopsie there and that's that. So, if anybody has questions or comments, they'd like me to demonstrate something, it's what I'm here for. More than happy to. Otherwise, try to keep it interesting, talk about the things that I was looking at today, what I was seeing, what I was feeling. I took a trade from the trade idea strength alerts window here, Zixi, ZIXI. It worked out well for me. I got in here, sold some here and here. Thought it was going to be all right, made a move without me, and then completely gave it up anyway. So again, that whole thing about we don't buy tops, we don't buy bottoms. I didn't buy it here. I didn't sell it there. But I got a piece of the meat in the middle here, and we'll have dinner tonight. So that's how it works. There's also, I feel like there's another one or two good ones in here. CBS is already on the list. It's having a nice day right now as well. That was on Michael's list. That was curated. Let's see what else we got going on. I don't know if GLS yet. GLS is still on here. So this is an interesting one. Nice washout bounce, we call that today, or hammer candle. So, it showed weakness, opened kind of flat, and dipped right down off the bat. Really wicked down, sellers really tried to shake any weak hands out on that. Bounced nicely, up 1.5% today now. Shippers, it's one of those sectors it's funny how it's working out. Is expensive shipping going to be an issue for the shippers? Is it going to help the shippers? I'm not really sure. I would say the evidence at this point says that most shippers are up, and it looks like it's bullish for the shippers at this point. So that's my 2 cents there. So another good setup here from the trade idea strength alerts, and I'd say that's real strength here now. Going into tomorrow, this will be something that I'm all over. I might even put like a low ball bid in after hours today or in the early hours tomorrow to see if I can get something at the low end of the bid. But the way it's shaping up there, I like a shot at 25. Like I said, the sellers tried to come down, shake it all out, and the buyers weren't having it and brought that rate back up again. So that's the short and skinny there. What do we got coming in? Question: can you go over some of the Market Explorer stuff? I was looking at it today. Looks very interesting. No specific questions yet. Just anything that you have found noteworthy. At the moment, so I've been watching the 820 gappers for a long time. So if I right click here, server window, 820 cross on gappers. Now I disclaimer this. Listen to my full statement, everybody, before you jump up and down about this. It is an 8 EMA crossing a 20 SMA. No, we do not have EMAs, but Michael was able to go back through the way this data set works. It's not our regular servers. This isn't something we can push out to users to use filters with yet. End goal is that we'll see how it all shakes out. It's it's not just plugging this into the servers that push things out to you and to me. I don't even have access to the EMA that's in this. Michael wrote lines and lines and lines of math to be able to filter this like this. So with that said, yes, 8 EMA crossing a 20 on gappers up, and it's for a 2-minute chart is where the cross is supposed to be happening. And I watched this for months and months and months. Or I had it up and I never really paid any attention to it. So, let's take a look at some of the alerts that came through today. I think let's look at some early alerts. Hopefully this doesn't do what the top list do on me and scrolls all the way up. A lot of alerts coming through it today, to say the least. A lot of alerts. I've never seen so many alerts come through this before. So, all right. So this is going to do a top list do where it kind of wants to shoot back to the top always on us here. But let's take a look at something. Let's take a look at NGR or NRGD. So the alert came at 9:40 and nothing doing there. All right. Let's scroll back down. Interesting. KWeb came through it at 10 o'clock. Wonder if I can do this. Nope. Not what I wanted. Sorry about that. This will help a little bit. No, not really. So K-Web came here, and not really a whole lot going through it on that there. So what else can we find here? So, load these windows, take a look at them, play with them. Sono came in at what time? It's making it difficult for me to find. I'm going to have to talk to Michael about this. 10:52. So let's take a look at Sono at 10:52. 10:50, 10:30. So on this candle here, Sono came in, came down. Beautiful move up there. So, kind of an anomaly with that whip. I'm not sure what that tail was, that wick was, but all the same. So winner from there. Take a look at some later alerts here. So find something with some liquidity. Kind of odd to look at pins with the news, but all the same, let's take a look at what happened here. And that was at 3:12. We're looking at on this candle here. So nothing doing from there. So obviously this 820, we're not seeing a whole lot out of what we look, but there's, there are a lot of alerts in here to go over. Take a look here at NFE. NFE. It came around the 10 o'clock hour. And same thing. Not a ton to see here. So for those of you that think that the 8 crossing the 20 is the magic scan, this is done it on gappers with a high relative volume. That's what it's looking at. You can see its gap. All right. You can see the statistics that are in there, and not a whole lot. So we'll see what pans out over the coming days, weeks, and months with these scans. And again, for those that don't know, the Market Explorer in the new beta, 5.5.45. All right, you're going to come to new, and you're going to come to Market Explorer. All right, and you're going to get a window that looks like this, and you're going to right click, look at server windows, and those are the scans that we've given you. I've been focusing on the TI strength recently. We've got bull flag, bear flag, and RSI divergences, long and short. If you don't know what an RSI divergence is, let's take a look at these scans and see if there's any good examples of the RSI divergence here. Michael's been trading those quite a bit, actually. Let's get rid of that. Server window, RSI divergence long. So what will be happening in these is the RSI will be falling while the price action is moving up. So let's see, Denny's. And so we can see here on the daily, you've got an RSI that's moving down and the price action started to move up here. All right. So that's what we found on that. There's your positive RSI divergence. It was a 9:30 alert, and these are on daily charts, please remember. So there's one. Let's see. Try to find things with a reasonable price instead of $1 stocks to look at. Same kind of idea here. Not really much of an up. All right, what you can see here here's another example. So there's your daily RSI moving down. You got to move up. All right, so that's what the RSI divergence means. Long on the short, it'd be going the other way, where the RSI is moving up and the stock price is moving down. All right, those are your RSI divergences. And like I said, my focus has been server window, TI strength here. We look at a bull flag. Let's see what we got coming through for bull flags here. So there's your move up, moving the opposite direction. There's your flag. Do we make that move up? We'll see. Time will tell. ADMS. So, here's your move up, obviously. Flagging this way. Believe that this candle here is what got it qualified there for that bull flag. And again, pattern recognition, not easy. Michael did this with all position and range filters and things like that. Any There's your move up. Here's your flag. Pretty good bull flag setting up there. We'll see what that means for that stock. All right, so you go through these, take a look, see what you think of these different. And here's your average true range on them. Standard 14-day period. All right. So you can find things that you like your price range, you like your average true range on it, and whether you like that bull flag or not. Another one here. All right, so as you move up, there's your flag. All right, these wicks that come way down, those are the ones that are going to get these qualified in there, is what's happening with those. So kind of some sideways flags overall, but still, not so bad. There's your 3 candles moving this way. All right, to make the technical bull flag, and then a move up here coming. So hopefully that's informative. That makes sense to you all. And again, if there's questions, please fire them away. So that's new feature. And then I'll throw this out there. Michael's asking us for ideas in internal chat. So something he's working on right now is a couple of different kind of gap ideas, where one has been trying to move in the gap but hasn't been able to do it, and one is now in the gap for the second or third time. And looking back at gaps, I think going back no more than 3 months on the gap is what we're looking at. So it's, another scan that we're building out. I don't know how long it'll take him to do all the math and everything like that, but that will be another scan that gets added to this. And we're going to keep pumping scans out like that. So what I would say is, any of you guys know each other, you want to get together, you're in this chat together, you're in the trading room with Barry during the day, you take it to maybe the off-topic channel or technical support channel, whatever those channels are on there. It's been a while since I've been in Barry's room. I used to live there. But, a group of you could get together, talk about it, and say, hey, listen, if I think, if you got 20, 30, 40, 50 of you together saying, hey, what's an idea for a scan we'd all like to see? And you email that into us and say, hey, we hear Michael can build things with the ME. There's 50 of us that we all want this scan. Here are the 50 people that are your users. We'll build it. Michael will build it for you. I have zero doubts about that. And he might shoot me for saying this, but that's his problem, not mine. So, it's just the kind of stuff that Michael's doing behind the scene for us, though. So that's that for all those good things. So again, not seeing much in the way of questions coming here, but throwing that out there for you. Anybody watching the replay on this later, that's Trade Ideas subscriber 2. You guys got a forum to get together in Barry's room. There's off-topic rooms in there. You don't have to clog up the general chat, and you guys organize yourselves, and you might be able to get some stuff built that you're really, really looking for. Let's see some more to talk about Mr. HX here. Woof. Someone was talking about shorting it earlier. I sure hope they didn't. That's all I can say. There has not been a lot, here for this period of time, I guess somewhere in there if you wanted to, that short period of time. But that's the strength on this thing coming off of, again, it's not a magic indicator, but it works for me. But coming off this 8 EMA, just exploding, and then one more time, right through it again. Boom. So not my cup of tea to trade. Let's take a look at the time and sales here. Yeah, I mean, just no way. My brain looks at that and laughs. I just, maybe if I had a $5 million account and, taking 200 shares on a wing and a prayer or something, I don't even know, but, using down here as my stop, maybe I wouldn't even know how to share size for this. I mean, it took my time, I guess I could, but just look at the way that that's moving. Just not going to fly for me and my brain. But all the power to the people like Barry that trade that stuff. I'm also getting an alert here, HUDI, not JUDI, HUDI. What does that look like? Oh, wow. Look at that. I could follow suit right there. It's above its lifetime high, another China stock. and boom. Yep. And it's funny, Dan. There are plenty of people that trade that, and all the power to them. People that do really well with this kind of stuff bring a time and sales over this too. That spread. That's just a tough spread. That's all there is to it. You got to work that spread, put your orders in, pull them, put them in, pull them. So on and so forth. So, but traders of all walks, we got it for everybody. So, all right, let's get rid of the Market Explorer. I think we've kind of covered that. And if anybody has more questions on it, we can of course go back over that. Let's take a little dive down Holly. An interesting day from her. You see, basically all of these, with the exception of that stop hit, had a shot at some money. But the tape is always better on the charts. So CNI, beautiful short right there. Look at that. What a move down. All right. Buyers and sellers get even on a 5-minute chart. Even better looking. Buyers and sellers get even for a pull up. So nice profit save on that for Holly. Again, I curate this and I go through these Holly alerts as a manual trader. Obviously, if you're doing this in automation, not so great. Conservative profit. Well, conservative profit is $49 based on that share sizing, which is only 48 shares. So not bad, but all the same, much better done if you're watching and curating it yourself. IQ, talked about this real briefly, that I got into it. I waited. I got into IQ on this bar here, I think. Yeah, I think it was there. Here, that's where it was on the 5-minute chart. So I got in here, made this move, all right, and dropped it here. This was what it was. I didn't feel safe there, and like I said, eked out a winner on that one. Unfortunately, her algorithm doesn't kick in till down here, and on a reduced risk, not even a profit save. So that's the way she saw it. Zendesk. We actually used to use Zendesk here. Zen, she was hitting from the short side, and again, a profit save, unfortunately, and the profit save came in on this candle. And if she didn't get whipped out of it there, actually almost came down and met your target down here. So, before reversing back up. So again, how you managing these trades? There's certainly some money to be made on these. Certainly some quality alerts. Hut. I don't assume that's Pizza Hut. No, Hut Mining. Same kind of idea here. She gets in, she makes a call here. You're up in the money quick here. You get a pullback. You're back up in the money. You stay up in the money here for a while before you start to get that bleed and fade right there. So again, spread on every one of these. Every one of these was in the money, and for a reasonable amount of time to take some. We went over Zen, Hut, IQ, been over CN, HUYA. I'm sorry. This one I think might have been a little tougher. Take a second for that chart to load up. Yeah, not as much, not as great of an entry here. From the Mighty Mouse strategy, she makes the entry here on this candle, and you're only in that money briefly before it comes back and starts to sit right around the entrance and then breaking away on you, unfortunately. So it was just a brief moment. If you had taken that trade, manage it properly. If not, you weren't eking anything out on that. But up top here, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. Definitely could have eked out some gains. This was never going to be a winner. Stopped out almost immediately. And this thing was all over the place. 40 million shares traded, 26 relative volume. Very interesting stuff. Also interesting to note, mostly Holy Grail today. No Neos. Back to it though, yeah. Just, tough entrance. And never really had a shot at money either. Came, got stopped out. Yeah, afterwards it fell. And, look at this daily chart. Look at that wick on that. Look at that spinning top doji, major spinning top. Just a tough trade or something like that. Something that if it came through, I'd be staying right away from it. And as a matter of fact, I did. PRLD. Yeah, once again, definitely in the money for some time here. You get the entrance here. You're never in trouble off that entrance. You wick down, you wick down, you wick down. She makes a nice move up for almost an hour there off that entrance. You get some hang time here before getting a release back to the other side. So, every one of these trades you could have eked out, and it's not unmanageable right there. You got, let's see, 7 trades, right? 7 trades total. And out of those 7, I'd say, realistically, 5 of them you could have peeled out some money on. So it's pretty good statistical weighting on that. Again, the questions panel a bit silent here. So again, please, anybody that's in here, someone that just popped in, what are we doing? Ask some questions, fire away for me. I like it better when you guys are giving me content to look at and go over. Haven't had a lot of alerts coming through Barry's option scanner recently. I can tell you Zixi kind of got it towards the top. 16 cents after that, not a whole lot. Anything that's this small, I don't really look at anyways, to be honest. Nothing doing there. RVNC, not bad. 15.29 came down, just cracked 15 for a second there, but made a nice move off this red bar ignore right there. Something if you got in somewhere in here, you sold some here, you sold some here, move that stop around, back up again. Not a bad alert. PBT, 870. Nope, nothing doing there. That's a rough one. Tick the top. I use an 8 EMA on a 15-minute chart. It's almost the same as a 10 SMA. I mean, it's right there with it. Let me do this with my indicators. I'm going to adjust my SMA to a 10 period really fast so we can compare. And close. So the red is your EMA, the blue is your SMA. So this is a 10 SMA and this is an 8 EMA. So, that's what I'm using. That's what I like to use on an intraday chart for my intraday moves. So let's take a look at something like IQ and how it compares with the two. And really comparable. This here, you got a perfect touch here on that wick for the SMA, but then here you get a perfect touch on the EMA. So, which one's better? What does your eye tell you? I wouldn't try, I wouldn't trade it if that 10 SMA works for you. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Steve and Andy are big on that indicator. For some reason, I started trying the EMA one day and it just kind of stuck with me. That's all. And it works, the same way coming short too. So, same concept here. It's not a great example of it. A great example on that chart. Let's see if we can find something better. Here I like how the EMA is like, you can see it once it got a hold of it here, got a hold really here and just kind of suppressed it and kept it down right up until it popped back over it again, of course. So that's, my 2 cents there. Same thing here. As soon as it got a hold of it on the cross below it there, this EMA, the big difference is the SMA is weighting the candles evenly. The EMA is weighting the last candle heavier. So that's, if that helps with any decision, but I wouldn't change what you're doing. If it's working for you, absolutely keep it. So I'm just going to switch my SMA back to a 20. Edit. Periods. 20. Save. Close. There we go. Housing. We've discussed housing, might make a move here. XHB, there's your housing, your home builders, and we discussed it might make a move, and it really looks like it has. I discussed possibly here on that gap up, we could see a move. We've seen some pause, go now, and the housing. So no surprise there. And, I bring that up because you have this here from Barry. And I had some other stuff coming through housing wise, not that, sorry, this from Barry's option window. I had some other stuff housing wise come in. Not to this top ticket, unfortunately, 2436. Yeah, probably top ticked it right there. Yeah. I'm guessing that's 2436 way up here, unfortunately. Nope, that's 2449. So the alert came in there, almost the top. Unfortunate, but certainly was setting up nice here. And go, pause, go. And exactly what we saw from the XHB there in housing. There's been some other, I'm trying to think of what else I'm watching that has housing involved in it. If I have it on any of my lists, as a matter of fact. I don't see it currently. I might have taken it off my short list here on my liked list. It's not going to be at the bottom, that's for sure. Anyways, my point being, as we discussed, housing looked like it might have something in it, and it certainly did. Again today, this must be China again. Yeah, China. So China was hot today. Whereas the K-Web has been falling, unfortunately, now 6% below its open, but up on the day still. So, and, we can see here, came down and tested that gap perfectly, and now we're holding it. Again, these things are no happy accidents that they happen, right? There's a lot of machines and eyes looking at the exact same levels that you and I are. So the key is know it's happening. Back to Barry Scan YRD. Can we send cloud links in here? Got an alert window I'd like to get your thoughts on. Been testing pretty well. No, the chat doesn't let you. It only lets people with an admin account. But you can mail it to here. Ideas.com. You can email to there, and I will get it. It'll come in, and I'll see it at some point this evening when I get back to answering emails again. YRD, nothing doing from there. FPAC. Oh, very nice alert off that. I got it at 10:07. And this is the kind of trader that Barry is. So actually, that looks a lot nicer than it is. 10:07. It's saying it came in on this candle. Interesting. Very interesting. So what I'm saying interesting about is you see this huge candle and you're like, whoa. And then you see the alert comes on this candle. And you see this big wick, a 15-minute wick. And you're like, wow, that was a great move. And then you realize that's 10 cents between there and there. That's not a great move, actually. But when you look at the range of the stock, kind of just interesting here. But all the same, had some crazy volume here. So options volume, 500%. 6 million shares traded today, 10 times its relative volume. Very interesting stuff for it to not move at all, basically. But that was the same as this from my window here. Where is it? This one here. Watching, 2.6 mil shares traded now today, and it's really just been, dash, little move. But what I'm looking at is this range here. That's not such a bad range to be working off of now. And what I'm really looking at is the bigger picture here. This here. So, we'll see what happens. It's a beautiful red bar ignore setting up on the daily chart. But there's definitely some resistance levels to look at. Here and here. I think that all kind of lines up more or less, that area in general. But interesting all the same. So there's, things to note. Stocks have personalities. Not all do, but a lot do. SOS, I don't think there's anything to write home to mom about there. Nope, not whatsoever. And these later alerts usually don't equal anything from Barry's window, to be quite honest. And same thing here. Another acquisition company, but you never know with these SPACs. These are where you find ideas that, you start putting price alerts in and saying, well, if it gets to here, what kind of action am I looking at, So to, you have this day here like that, and you got these days that bring it back down. Now it opens down here and makes that big move up here. What does tomorrow hold? I don't know, but that's 11 and change, and we're at 1040 now, so it'd be a nice move to get even a piece of. So, sorry, just getting some things coming in here in our chat. So we're trying to make a swing trading AI. It's something that's been in the works for a long time. It's just not easy. If it was easy, we'd have put it out a long time ago. But we're working on some stuff, and so there's some things that we're going to be watching tomorrow for swing trading and a possible AI. So I'm just getting some messages in about that real quick here, reading those. If anybody else has thoughts or questions or comments, please fire them away here. I will be leaving right about 4:30 today, so you got 28 minutes and change to hit me with any of your burning desires here. So covered Barry's window. Shippers again, what is this? Is this shipping? No, lithium ion. All right, that's lithium ion. We do have some shippers that came in, so that's shippers. That is a shipper. And towards the top of the list, I think that's it on my shippers at the moment. Some Mendy, no, it's almost all. There's housing, right? No, this is a packing company. Sorry, I thought this was housing. Although for people moving, it might be something. And this is something that I'll be looking at again for tomorrow. Big strong move today. Go, pause, go. Do we get another go today? Tomorrow, do we get a pause? And got a little room to that level that's up there. I like that pattern that it came out of. We can definitely call this a double bottom right there for sure. Hindsight, nice to find it back there. You could always filter for things like that. And I like this right here. Cup handle. That's pretty classic right there. So there's no reach or stretch on that one at all. So we'll see what tomorrow holds for GPK. Almost 2 mil shares traded today, doing around its relative volume. So, if we got a day that, the market isn't rolling over on us tomorrow, it's kind of choppy sideways, kind of like today was, we might find some more alpha on this. We can see this red bar ignore was a nice red bar ignore move after that. Came range bound for the rest of the day here. So is this bearish here? That's a green bar ignore coming the opposite there. We'll see how that plays out tomorrow, though. That's front row seats for it, of course. So some stuff that I'm looking at. What else did what from my list today? SoFi, this kind of just keeps defying gravity on me. I keep taking it off lists, putting it back on lists. I don't know what to make of it. It's hard when something, makes this kind of move. But, kind of paused here. Not quite a bull flag. And then another move up. But a near red bar ignore on the daily today again. So I will see, this is that seems to be a pretty big hefty level. And then you're looking up here afterwards, though. You can see we don't report a short float yet. It's a new issue, but you can see that since the reporting, you've got this percent of the float that has increased their short bet. So there you have that, sports fans. What else are we looking at here? Thought this was going to go today. Traded this in and out kind of quickly here. Got it here, sold a little here, sold a little here, sold the rest there. Saw it make this wick up, and I'm like, of course I'm cursing myself, but in hindsight, once again, I made the right move. I had a plan. I traded that plan. I've had a lot of moves like this lately where I thought, looking at this daily chart, I feel like it could be moving for a couple of days, but a lot of stuff that I've tried to trade like this recently, it hasn't made the move back up the next day. And so I'm closing stuff earlier than I had been previously. It's, sticking to the same plan, changing my expectations. That's all, that's what we do. So that was that, the short and skinny of that one for me there. So I was actually a little more active today than I've been recently. DVAX, it's another one. It's an interesting chart always. So, we get these massive moves up here, all the way up, pull back to the 8 EMA, tries to get it, rejected. I don't know if that was news or offering. Sure, something happened there for that gap up, but I don't think it's any happy accident once again that that gap down comes back and tests this level here. That wasn't a great drawing. We come back and test that level right here with that wick. I don't think it's any happy accident, and I'm moving back up again. So let's take a look at a bigger picture on DVAX. So really up, and it's really hard to chase these things, but the moving average is all kind of catching it now. But say that that's not a significant level would be an understatement. Now that becomes a big level. All right. So do we have this happening, or do we have this happening? What do your eyes tell you? All right. But it might be something that's setting up and noteworthy for a $20 shot again tomorrow. Another chart. Let's see how this finished up. This was in the TI strength alerts today. Tanger outlets. This one can be an explosive winner. Very nice today. This had an alert. Let's see if I can find it in the TI strength alerts. Server window, TI strength. So this had it at a, it's updated it since. Somewhere in the $17.40 range or so. I wanted it. I didn't pull the trigger, and here, and I was like, well, it's extended. I'll wait for a pullback, and then it never gave me a pullback to try to get in. So it was unfortunate. But that was in the TI strength alerts this morning when I was doing my pre-market work, going through that. So I really recommend in the morning, taking a look at those TI strength alerts. While the original design on them was for a buy on a Monday and sell on the next Monday, you can trade them how you see. And, coming out of a beautiful cup and handle pattern, that really nailed it right off there. I mean, really, really nailed it. That's nothing to sneeze at, and you can see this thing can really boogie if it gets the volume on its side on these days here. So it's been dormant for a little bit as it's setting up for another big run. Retail's it's been okay. Questions, is the consumer going to continue to carry the economy? Blah, blah, blah. Consumer can't carry the economy if there are no goods getting off the ships and trucking around and stuff like that. But what is it? The retail is the XRT. Am I right? Someone help me out. Right? Consumer, XRT. Yeah, retail. So, XRT, to me, it looks kind of top heavy. We'll see what happens. Kind of looks like it's bowing that way to me, quite personally. But we'll see as the tape plays out. Is it bowing like this and it makes a bounce? Is it bowing like this and it keeps going? What do your eyes tell you? One of the best things that ever was said to me when I was trying to figure out how to read charts and stuff, I asked someone, what do you think of this chart? And I said, what do you think of it? What do you see actually? Draw some lines on it. Tell me what you see. And that was the last day I asked anybody else what they thought of a chart. I've not asked someone what they thought of a chart ever since then. So anyways, with that said, XRT pretty range bound for a long time here. All through here, it's trying to make some moves. Rejected off the 50 today. Can it power through it tomorrow? Make bear case and bull cases bear cases and bull cases here on it. So, the bear case is that big move like this that I'm showing you here. The other bear case is rejected on the 50 here, rejected on the 50 here. The bull case is this 8 EMA is about to cross that 20 SMA on a daily chart. And I don't care what time frame you're on, an 8 EMA crossing a 20 SMA in general is a bullish sign. So the case is made both ways for this. Time will tell. Price will pay or it won't pay. So that'll be that. I got about 10 minutes before I wind this down here. So again, it's an open forum. So someone's got something they want to look at or talk about, or if you got thoughts on, please fire it away for me here. Got you set. We talked about your moving averages. We've gone over the ME window. So let's see the indexes. We'll take a tour around the indexes, the SPY. See if I can't win my bet tomorrow with all-time highs tomorrow. I think we're gonna touch them. That's my opinion. We're this close. I just feel like whoever they is, are gonna want to touch it, and then we crash. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. You got every doomsayer and their brother was out, and sister, and their uncle, and their nephew, and their cousin, and their daughter, and whoever else. When we did this move down here, it was all over, and we were coming down here, and 400 was on deck, and all these things like that. And well, they were again wrong. So that's how that goes. I don't get caught up in that bull bear nonsense. What are the charts telling you? Let's see, Tom. Does anything we create during the test drive remain when we subscribe? How does it have to be? No, everything. Just make sure, Tom. People have a tendency to create a second account after the test drive. They don't realize they're doing it. So, for example, if you had your test drive account right now is Tom with a capital T at gmail.com, for example, all right? And then all of a sudden you do Tom at gmail.com with a lowercase t, it'll create a second account that will have nothing in it. So whatever your account name is right now, make sure that you sign up when you take the full subscription under that. So you're going to come, go to, make sure you know what your account name is, go to account and go to log in and look at it there. It's case sensitive. The other place that you can look on your account, look at your account information, is if you come to the web page, and this is where you can manage all the fun stuff in your account. Your symbols list can get managed there, your liked symbols. I'm not going to go into it because I can't. But if you click login here, you can log in there, and that's where you can find the formula editor. A lot of some of the fun stuff in there, some of the advanced stuff. Something that doesn't get talked about enough either, actually. If you guys are, here's our homepage, trade-ideas.com. And you're like, gee, Stock ABC made this incredible move today. But what filters were met on it? What was doing it? What was happening? Come to support and scroll down here. We've got some cool stuff in the support here. All right. Traders area. All right. So you've got, obviously the traders room in there, some popular scans. If you want to know what the AI descriptions are, now you're not going to get the algorithms behind them, but here you go. What are these kind of looking for? You get good sense into what Holly's trying to do here. And then in the traders area, what I really wanted to show you is the stocks like this page. And you can enter a stock here. All right. For example, mRNA. And you get a 5-minute clip. 5 minutes is the minimum. And you can put a time in here. Now, this does not go back as far as the back testing servers go. So forget about that. But we can go back and say, boy, HX, great example. So, HX makes this huge move at, whatever time. Let's say at 10 o'clock. What was HX doing at 10 o'clock today? 10:30 Eastern. All right. And I submit. In here, this is every alert that was met. Every single alert that was met and in between 10:30 and 10:35. All right. Every one of these alerts was met by HX. Then here's your minimum and maximum values on every single filter for HX during that 5-minute clip. And what you could do is you're limited on how many you can do, but you can start putting checks in some of these different things, whatever interests you. All right. Take a few of them. We've clicked all those things. Let's give a 75% pullback, low of close. All right, now we've checked a whole bunch of stuff. We come and copy to a configure window, selected. All right, we're going to get a code. All right. All right, so we see everything that's in here now, just like that. All right. And up here is a collab link. All right. Copy. I haven't done this in a while, so hopefully I'm doing this right, not embarrassing myself. You can take it into a new window here. Collaborate. Get rid of what's in here. Paste what you just copied. Press OK. There you go. Stocks like HX. There's no other stock like it today. Not right now, anyways. All right. Now, that's an extreme example with HX, but let's just, this copy those exact filters. And if we come in here, right click, configure, Windows specific filters, everything that I just checked is in here with all of its values. All right. And you could do that with an alert window too. Chris, how do you get the new strength alerts on the web version? I don't know. I don't know if you can. Let's take a look here. I'll load up the web version. New. Nope. 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 I am sorry to say there might not be a web version of it. Let me message Michael. I just messaged Michael about that. Let's get rid of that for now. I just saw MH. What do you got? I've been reading documentation about the VWAP 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 VWAP shown as indicator on the chart seems different. No, this doesn't copy like a cloud link does, unfortunately. Wait a minute. Save or share to cloud. Save and share. Please wait. Nope, doesn't save and share to the cloud like that. Have me waiting forever. Nope. Well, that's an interesting message that I cannot share, but okay. So sorry. I'm sorry, David. No cloud link, no ME on that. All I can tell you is if you're on a Mac, use Boot Camp. That's the best I got for you on that. I'm sorry. VWAP is shown different. Can I get it in the web version by tomorrow? No. Well, I'm not a programmer, and the issue that you run into is the stock market data comes in as PC. The stock market runs on PC technology. That's why we don't have. That's why the web version is what we have, and not an app for this, because the data that comes in here is not easy to transfer over to iOS, unfortunately. Seems different. Well, the VWAPs, so, VWAP 1 is your intraday VWAP, which is what traditional VWAP is. VWAP 2 is going to be 2 days back, 3 days back with 3, 4 days, so on and so forth. So that's, what that stands for. So those are all distances from the VWAP. So for example, on the SPY here, let's do it on the daily, obviously, since it's what we're talking about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be your distance. VWAP 5, as my machine is mightily struggling here because I have the web version. Oh no, I have the web version open, so I can't get a chart here. Haha, reset connection, Chris. There we go. And there's your VWAP, your anchored VWAP from here. So you're looking at your distance from VWAP like that. I'm also asking them stopping the ME from auto scrolling up. In other words, on a chart I'm looking at right now, VWAPs 1894. None of the VWAPs and the filters report that value at that time. Okay, let's do this. New top list. Symbols list, single symbol, SPY, columns, get rid of you. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up a scan to look specifically at that VWAP column right now. Search on this here. EWAP. Which VWAP are you talking about? On my screen here. Yeah, so VWAPs 1 through 5. Okay, these are, all right. What are these ones looking at? 5. So let's look at a VWAP 5 here. Add filter on the SPY. Oops, I didn't want to add filter. I want to show column. That's what I want to do. I want to see this at the market close. Live during market hours. So 44651. And VWAP, where's it up here? It's up here, yeah. So it looks, when I can get it lined up right on the where I want it, 446. It was right a second ago, depending on where I'm moving my cursor. It looks all right to me. And drill down in on this here. Yeah, I mean, the line on the chart is kind of shorting out on you, but you got it up here. But that's the filter you're talking about, VWAP 5, right? Airy. This one broke my heart a few weeks ago to watch it, what it did today. It's on my list even. All right, so let's take a look at this here. Airy configure. Symbols list. Airy. Yes, you. Let me get rid of these filters to make sure nothing blocks us from coming in. Hide unused. There we go. So what I'm doing is I've just got this symbols, this top list pointing right at only that. Chart shows VWAP at that time as being 1894. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm showing 1942 on my chart for VWAP for 5. And this is going with 401, so whatever happened in, a minute after the close here, and this is going right to the close here. So again, it's looking pretty much online to me here. But that might have been the VWAP at the time of the alert. I'm looking at the VWAP right now in real time for the close of the market. What time was your alert? That's going to be the difference. That was what the VWAP was at that alert, at that time stamped moment. I'm looking at the VWAP right now, or as of the close at 4:01 and 30 seconds Eastern time. Yeah, that's why you're looking at a VWAP from how VWAP's continuously calculating. Also, we don't have data at that time. What time did the alert come in, though? So that's 10. There's 6. That's 9:36, right? So time frame, use historical, 10. Why is Airy not coming on? That would also help if I put the right time, I guess, huh? Not 10. 9. It would also help if I didn't put it on PM. There we go, Chris. 1944. That's what I get for the VWAP rate then. What were you saying? 1944. That's right. Well, let's anchor it back here. VWAP 5. So there's 1 day. There's 2 days. There's 3 days. There's 4 days. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 14th. 14th on the open. So now we've anchored the VWAP. That looks right to me. 1944. That looks right. I mean, I can switch it to a 1 minute chart. I don't think it's going to matter. Then, are you using pre-market data on your charts? I bet you're using pre-market. Properties, show pre-market. You're using pre and post-market. That's why, I bet. Has to be. It's the only thing I can figure. Because my charts are showing it correct. I'm not sure what's going on your chart then. We got it, but I've got it. It's all lining up here for me, right there. VWAP, 1944, 1944. I mean, it's right on the money, and it's a 5-day anchored VWAP. So, all right, I'll let you. And then, if you've got charts, you want to send some screenshots in with something, we can take a look this way to their MH2 info@trade-ideas.com. All right, so you can always get some questions there now. You can always get some questions answered there too. So, but every which way I look at it, I mean, I'll even move it to a 1 minute chart time frame. 1 minute. Hopefully, I don't lose the anchored VWAP though. That's a pain in the neck to try to go back 4 days on a 1 minute chart. Yeah, that's no fun. Let's see it here. It's claiming it's here on this part of it. Get rid of pre-market. Correct. Moving averages should not have pre and post market, and we don't calculate with pre and post market data for sure. Well, whether it's a 1 minute chart or a 60-minute chart, the VWAP should be the same. VWAP's VWAP. I'm scrolling all the way back here. On the 15th. Little ways to go. So if anybody else has got any questions, I'll give you a couple of guys, give everybody a couple of more minutes here. And then I will have to make my escape for the day. I can't even get to show on my chart right now. I'm not sure what I'm doing here wrong. I'm sure I'm missing something. Yes, if they're enabled, it will consider it. That's how any chart will do it, though. But the filters will not consider these filters will not consider pre and post market data for the moving averages at all. You got it. Okay, glad we got you sorted. Hopefully we got you sorted. I don't like to leave people hanging on things. But so for anybody that's wondering what I just did here is, I want to know what something's doing. I don't need any filters to check data. And you could say, well, what was, there's a stocks like this page you can go to, or, you can take a top list and you can put the columns in of things you want to see. So if you come to the configure and you want to look back in the history, and you want to say, man, I want to know what the gap was on, whatever stock. All right. And you click gap, use the percent, what you're doing. So, and just show column. We don't have to actually put the filter in here, but I don't need the filter. Just show the column. So here in the columns, now when I click this, all right, I can now see what the gap was on this stock. And I've taken a step further that, I can point it at specific stocks in the symbols list here. So we're looking at area, I can look at, Apple. What was Apple's gap at, this time today? There was, Apple had no gap. Here are the, the statistics from that. So, anybody can do that, going back and looking at, there is a limit to how many columns you can put in, of course. But, come into configure and you come to search, and you can add any one of these as a column to a top list and go back and look that way as well to double check your data about something. And it's the same thing as with, that stocks like this page that I brought over before, here. And I said, if you folks don't know it, I highly, 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 highly recommend taking a look at it. I don't use it that much quite personally. I more use it to troubleshoot, but, what was Plug doing on the open today? Let's take a look. Here's everything that Plug did on the open from 9:30 to 9:35 Eastern time. This is every alert that it would have triggered. It would have triggered every single one of those alerts. These are all the metrics of all the filters, your maxes and your minimum values. If there's a filter involved in it, you're going to get the statistics on it right here. All right. Like I said, it doesn't go back to 60 something days like the back tester does, but all the same, you got it all right there for you. So, all right. I don't see any other questions coming in here, so I'm going to wrap it up today for everyone. I know we're coming towards the end of that test drive, so, hopefully we'll keep an okay crowd in here. It's not as many people as I'd hoped, but, maybe we'll build some numbers as we move forward over the weeks and months. So every day, do this every day at 3:30 Eastern. Get you at least an hour Q&A. I like to keep it built around the software, but we look at charts, we talk about the markets overall, things like that. I'm more of a quote unquote expert on the software than I am trading. I do trade. But that's where we stand. That's where we lie with all these things. So Tom got one last question sneaking in here. I have top list chart and single stock window that are free floating and populate my home screen when I trade ideas. I have no idea how I did it, how to get rid of them. All right. I want you to do this. Right click and look to see if you have the pinned function that's there, and uncheck that. All right. And then delete them, and then resave your layout. And I think that's going to fix you. You're welcome, Dan. Always a pleasure. That's my best guess on this, Tom. And if nothing else, all you have to do is, you can delete it, get rid of them, Tom, exit out, boom, now it's gone. And then if you go to File, eventually this will work, Save Layout, and you save your layout, this is what it'll come up as this default layout here. This is the layout that will load up every time you start trade ideas. So you can see here, I have other layouts that I can load too that I've created. I have, this was when I was practicing docs way back when. I was trying a new layout that was going to be a default layout. More docking practice. I've got a pre-market layout. I was doing some streaming in the pre-market last year. I had that. Different support sessions that I've done. I have layouts for that, test layouts, so you can have multiple layouts. It's just that this default one where it's like this here, that's what will load up with trade ideas every time. It's your local save default, not what you save to the cloud. Although you should save everything to the cloud and locally too, So if you want to save your whole layout to the cloud as well, File, Save or Share to Cloud, click Entire Layout, give it a name, click Save. All right. And this way, if your house burns down tomorrow, if your computer blows up, if your granddaughter comes over and spills milk on your computer, if your grandson comes over and takes batting practice on your computer, everything is saved in the cloud for you as well. So, you get your new computer, go right to the cloud, and you won't have lost a thing as long as you had saved it there. So, all right. I think that thanks from Tom means that we took care of him as well. So, all right, everybody, appreciate the questions and comments, the interactions. Again, every day, Trade Ideas, 3:30 Eastern, live Q&A here. So I hope to see you all and some more back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.